social entrepreneur from city of Bengaluru. He studied engineering with an objective to offer affordable engineering and energy solutions such as solar energy solution. But he quickly realized that it is very expensive for people from countryside to afford the upfront cost. A fruit cart vendor told that spending 300 a month is too much, but 10 rupees a day isn't. He quickly realized that poor people earn and spend on a daily basis, usually buying kerosene for 15 rupees a day. So he would have to offer a solution which is similar or a better for the same price or even lower. He then comes with his business model by hiring local community men who are looking for work and helps them get bank loans that are not backed. And then these people would set up shops and charge the batteries from solar energy during the day and rents them on a per night basis to the end user from 10 rupees and upwards. This is how he has reached over 2 lakh households within 3 years. Now, you take what is abundantly available, which is solar energy, to deal with what is scarce, that is affordable lighting for poor people. Now, this is the real innovation and a great business model, which didn't even brought good returns, but also created a lot of employment. Having said that, we all know that we are going through an unprecedented situation, and many of us are spending time and energy concerned about people, problems, challenges, and opportunities that are not under our direct control. Now, let me introduce a framework that can help us gain awareness in a situation such as COVID-19. This framework can help us understand where we can deploy our framework, where we can deploy our time and energy on problem areas that are not under our control and influence. And those are the real concerns. Also, let's explore how we could convert these concerns into factors that convert into great competencies. Now, if you look at the wider problem across India, most of the micro and small enterprises are affected because they are the way of bookkeeping practices that are in turn harming their business creditworthiness. Also, further, the unplanned procurement of materials is impacting their operational costs and making the entities financially unviable. And their remote presence is even making them further invisible and stay disconnected from the mainstream supply chain. All this together makes them held in a difficult situation in a scenario like this, if they have to access any of the government schemes or other capital benefits. The solution maybe what we have is providing a hybrid enterprise platform, which we have specially designed and developed to enable and empower micro and small enterprises. The applications we build is based on localized and gamified features to digitalize and enable businesses to easily manage their business accounts, irrespective of their literacy background. We further integrate the businesses with credit borrowing agencies, allowing them to access credit borrowing facilities based on financial ranking and suitable lender matching mechanism. Also, with the help of our decision support tools, we enable our users to take insights and help them take wise decisions to improve their productivity and gain seamless connectivity with the mainstream supply chain. A product comes in 11 different Indian languages apart from English, making it vernacular and highly intuitive, even for a naive user. Now, how can we help? Being an InstaBee, we can be your transformation agent in converting your concerns into influencing factors and further converting the influencing factors into your core competencies. Why InstaBee? We are the first to market offering a hybrid enterprise platform where you can avail all benefits at one place. We provide a highly ease of use application which you can set up in few minutes and generate invoices in few taps. We also further enable the businesses to gain instant access to the marketplace, which will help them to sell and buy the products they are looking for. Also, we enable the businesses to interact with government agencies and submit their GST returns and generate e-way bills, all at one place. One application, many benefits. Where do we stand? Since we understand the core problems of micro and small businesses who often suffer from the purchasing power, we have made our solution easily accessible, making it a democratic solution offering, and thereby enabling most of the small and micro and small businesses to gain access to the mainstream supply chain. Not just that, it would instantly connect all the businesses, irrespective of your location, irrespective of your business, with the platforms which you have never thought about. With this, I would like to end my session, and I'm open for questions if you have any. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We'll take up the questions at the end of the webinar. So all the participants who have any questions, please send me your questions. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Sunil Regula, founder and partner, Hansa Equity Partners. Prior to founding Hansa Equity Partners, Mr. Sunil was an investment director at FSN Capital Partners in the Nordics, 2 billion euro AUM private equity firm. At FSN Capital, he worked on all aspects of investments like sourcing deals, transactions, portfolio management, and exits. Before joining FSN Capital, Mr. Sunil has experience from Capgemini Consulting, Citigroup, and Standard Chartered Bank. Sir, you may please proceed with the session now. Sunil, sir, your microphone is still on mute.
Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Can you see the presentation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great, thanks. So I'll speak exactly for 10 minutes. And good evening to my distinguished panelists. And thanks to MSME and Mr. Sandeep Bhatnagar for inviting me today.
Sorry, sir. Mr. Vishwamdhar Mishra, please keep your microphone on mute at all times or you will be expelled from the meeting. Thank you. Sir, you may proceed. Sorry for the interruption.
Not at all, not at all. So good evening to all the participants from across India. I'll talk for the next 10 minutes about this topic of innovation as an investor. Me and my partner, Mr. Trinath Babu, we work with MSMEs in making innovation work and get tangible results. We, based on our work with MSMEs have developed an approach for growth using 4 elements that you see here. 1 is strategy, 2 capital, 3 execution, and 4 impact. I think based on our practical insights, I'll keep this talk as practical as possible. And the takeaway from this talk is about 8 practical tips that you can use to implement innovation in your businesses. Of the 3 things, strategy, capital, execution, 3 are obvious. I'll tell you what impact means for us. It means, in addition to profits, we focus on people, we focus on environment, and we focus on good business governance. There are thousands of MSMEs with over 100 million people in India. And if we can invest in and influence even a few MSMEs, we believe we can have a substantial impact in this space. If you look at MSMEs, they constantly need working capital to grow. To support working capital, they're constantly taking debt. And to support debt, they give collateral in the form of land and buildings. The situation today in MSMEs is that there is no sales happening. Debt is difficult to come by, and customers have stopped paying. Real estate is impacted. It's a time of immense struggle for MSMEs. Many of you who are attending this seminar, who are entrepreneurs, management teams in MSMEs, are looking at how you can get support in times like these. Government is doing a lot. Every day there are announcements. Banks like SIDBI are doing a lot. Institutions like NIMSME are doing a lot. And I'm sure our panelists today will tell you more about what these entities are doing. I will tell you a lot about what you as entrepreneurs and managers can do and how we as investors can support you. So if you look at this particular slide, this is the most important takeaway from today's presentation. If there's one thing you should take away, it is that innovation is not just going to give you growth post-crisis, but remember that innovation will also help you survive the crisis. And today, I'll give you some practical insights on how that is possible, how innovation can help you survive, and how it can help you grow. In any crisis, you're forced to rethink.
Sunil sir?
Sorry, yeah, please tell me.
Sir, actually, your presentation is not visible properly. Can you try switching it to slideshow?
Okay.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Is it fine now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what happens in a crisis is that you need to rethink your business model and look at what TCS has done. It's one of the largest IT service companies in India, and lockdown was a threat to their business. What did they do? They announced that 80% of their people in the future are going to work from home. That is going to be their standard model. So instead of just focusing on cash flow management and cost cutting, they have actually gone ahead and reinvented their business model in order to get long-term competitive advantage. And that is what I want a lot of you to take away from today, that in addition to managing the crisis, look at opportunities for growth. Now, if you look at this page, you'll see what's the challenge for MSMEs. On one side, you have operations, you have debt, you have cash flows. On the other side, somebody like me is coming and saying, you also have to do innovation. Resources for MSMEs are very limited. And with that, it's very difficult for them to balance these two things. hopefully, I think from some of the tips that I will give you today, you'll be able to balance these two things. This particular slide illustrates the 4-step process that you can use to actually balance your current crisis management along with managing innovation. I told you in one of the previous slides that we do strategy, capital, execution, and impact, right? All those 4 elements are there somewhere in this 4-step process. Let me quickly take you through each step. Step 1 is about taking some time out for innovation. For most founders and management teams, there is no time to think about innovation. They are in operations mode, they are in cash flow mode, they are in crisis mode. That takes all their time away. So my first practical tip to you, as you can see on this slide, spend 30% of your time on innovation. Rest of your time, you spend time on your operations. Doing that by yourself is very difficult. Take the help of external coaches, business coaches. Then set aside the time for innovation and spend time on it. Once you have the time, start sourcing some innovation ideas. Sort your ideas into short-term, long-term. Sort your ideas also into cost saving and top-line growth, and start prioritizing all of them. And have a proper structure on how you want to manage this crisis. Don't just go ahead and act in a haphazard manner. Have a structured approach even in a crisis. My practical tip number 2 to everyone listening is during a crisis, things change very quickly. You need to spot the changes. You need to spot opportunities. For that, follow your industry leaders on Twitter. Identify the best companies in the world in your industry. Connect with them on LinkedIn. You will then get every day, you will get a source of new ideas. What you will see from this source of ideas is that digital will be one of the most dominant innovation themes. Technology is disrupting every sector. You will also see that. The other trend that you will see is sustainability. Anything that is good for not just profits, but for people and environment is another mega trend. Things like organic food. Another example is Tesla cars. Second step in this is once you have created your time, you need to think about capital. All MSMEs are currently busy cutting costs. What we have observed, financial routines and cost controls in most MSMEs are weak. Use this crisis to improve your cost controls and have a systematic approach to even cutting costs. In the last 2 months, me and my partner, during the lockdown period, have implemented a project costing in one of the SMEs very successfully. Practical tip number 3, get a good CFO-like resource. If not permanent, you can just hire them and they will help you a lot with your cost control, cost structuring, etc. Another issue for MSMEs is debt levels. Everyone has very high debt levels. Look for equity as a solution for this. Equity can reduce your debt. It'll also give you an opportunity to pursue innovation. But raising equity will take about 3 to 6 months, so be aware of that. But practical tip number 4, there are several sources of professional money, including one of the participants today, which is SIDBI. They do a lot for MSMEs, so see what they are doing. Like SIDBI, there are several other investors. Use the time to understand what equity can do for you. Most MSMEs are unaware of that. Step 3 here in this slide is small innovation. Productivity improvements are a very good source of short-term wins. Focus on short-term wins within productivity. This is also called incremental innovation. What happens, what we have seen in most MSMEs, is that there is only one person thinking really in the organization, that is the owner or the CEO. Everyone else is just executing. When we go into companies, what we see is 80% of the best innovation ideas come from salespeople, from organization staff, from customers. In our experience, lean methodology is the easiest and the most effective tool for implementing this culture change. But that takes a few months. So, tip number 5, for quick results, gather your team and get ideas from them on how they can cut costs, improve cash flows, look at low cost product innovation and other ideas. You're sure to get some quick wins here. Practical tip number 6, conduct a quick customer survey. For this, you don't even have to go to an external agency. Start calling your customers, see how their needs are changing, see how you can do low cost innovation. Keep it very simple and ask your customers direct questions. You will be surprised by how much they can help you. Step number 4 actually. Now let's look at second type of innovation where you have a completely different idea from what you are doing right now. What we have seen in most MSMEs is that such ideas are put into execution very quickly. Practical tip number 7, do a thorough pilot test before you burn capital. This is crisis right now. You don't have too much cash. So pilot test your idea thoroughly and only then implement it. My last tip here is that when you are pursuing disruptive ideas, ideas which are very different from your current operations, people try to save costs and use the same sales team, use the same operations team, and that seldom works. The most important learning for us has been that when you want to pursue different ideas, pursue them very, very differently. If you are interested in innovation, read this book called Innovator's Dilemma by Professor Clayton Christensen. My last slide is next slide, please. That's it. I think I've exhausted more than 10 minutes now. Thank you all for listening to the speech. I will share this transcript of whatever I have spoken on our website. And on our website, you'll also find several other podcasts that you can listen to. I look forward to your questions in the Q&A. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
you're not sure how to deliver those products which you have developed. So the bottom line here is that you should, the MSMEs should assess their competitive assets and categorize them according to their effectiveness. So this primarily depends. So if you study further, then you will need to position your products here into which category, and depending on your competitive assets and presence of various competitors in your market. So I just included a example of